The 1973 U.S. 1-cent coin, history, value, rarity, and hidden treasures **** unearthing the secrets of the 1973 U.S. penny. Who would have thought that a simple penny could be worth more than its 1-cent value? We're diving deep into one of the most iconic pieces of U.S. currency, the 1973 1-cent coin. This small copper coin is part of the everyday pocket change, but what if we told you that it could potentially be worth a fortune? Yes, some 1973 pennies have sold for eye-popping prices at auctions, and there could be rare treasures hiding in your spare change. In this video, we'll cover everything you need to know about the 1973 penny, its history, why it's significant, its value today, its rarity, some auction surprises, and tips on how to identify the ones that might be worth more than you think. Could there be $1 million penny in circulation? Stay with us to find out. The historical background of the 1973 U.S. 1-cent coin. Archival photos of Abraham Lincoln, the Lincoln Memorial, and early U.S. coinage being minted. Let's start with some history. The U.S. 1-cent coin, commonly known as the Lincoln cent, has been a key part of American currency since 1909, celebrating the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Before Lincoln's image graced the penny, U.S. pennies featured Lady Liberty in various designs, but in 1909, Lincoln became the first real person to appear on a circulating U.S. coin. In 1959, on the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, the reverse design of the penny changed from the original wheat ears to the Lincoln Memorial, solidifying its iconic status in American numismatics. The 1973 penny continues this tradition, with Lincoln's profile on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, designed by Victor David Brenner and Frank Gasparro, respectively. The early 1970s were a time of economic flux in the United States. Inflation was rising, impacting the cost of minting coins, including the humble penny. In 1973, over 3.7 billion pennies were minted between the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints, making it one of the most common pennies of its era. Minting details and production of the 1973 1-cent coin. Let's dive into the production of the 1973 penny. As with many coins, there are variations depending on the mint where they were produced. The 1973 pennies were minted at 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The coins from Philadelphia do not bear a mint mark, while the Denver and San Francisco coins are marked with a small D and S respectively. Over 3.7 billion pennies were produced that year, with the Philadelphia mint striking over 3.7 billion, Denver producing around 3.5 billion, and the San Francisco mint creating proof coins for collectors. While most of these coins went into circulation, the San Francisco proofs are typically found in pristine condition, preserved by collectors. During this period, pennies were made from 95% copper and 5% zinc. However, rising copper prices in the 1970s would lead to changes in the penny's composition just a few years later, in 1982, when the penny shifted to a predominantly zinc composition with a copper plating. Rarity and collectability. What makes a 1973 penny valuable? A collector carefully examining a 1973 penny under a magnifying glass, inspecting for wear and tear, errors, or other distinctive features. So, what makes a 1973 penny valuable? It's all about rarity and condition. In most cases, circulated 1973 pennies are still only worth their face value. However, there are certain characteristics that can make these pennies highly sought after by collectors, particularly uncirculated or proof coins and those with mint errors. One of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting is discovering an error coin. In the case of 1973 pennies, collectors have discovered several varieties of errors that add significant value. For example, off-center strikes, where the image on the coin is misaligned, can sell for hundreds of dollars. Double die errors, where the design is stamped twice slightly off-register, are also extremely valuable. Explanation of coin grading scales from poor, P1, to mint state, MS70, and how condition affects value. Another factor that affects a penny's value is its condition, or grade. Coin grading is a precise science, with the highest grades awarded to coins that are nearly flawless, with no signs of wear or handling. A 1973 penny in mint state, MS, condition, particularly those graded MS 65 and above, can be worth far more than a worn coin. Uncirculated and proof pennies are prized for their pristine appearance and lack of wear. While a circulated 1973 penny might fetch a few cents or even $1 depending on condition, a high-grade mint state coin could be valued at $500 or more, with especially rare examples selling for higher amounts. Auction highlights: record sales of the 1973 penny. The auction world has seen some surprising sales when it comes to pennies, and 1973 pennies are no exception. While most people wouldn't expect a 1-cent coin to sell for more than face value, some rare and high-quality examples have fetched impressive sums. For example, an MS 67 graded 1973 penny, one of the highest grades for this coin, sold for nearly $500 at auction. While this may not seem like a fortune, it's an incredible return for a coin that originally had a value of just 1-cent proof pennies from 1973, especially those in pristine condition or with special characteristics, can also bring in hundreds of dollars at auction. Auction prices fluctuate based on market demand, collector interest, and the condition of the coin. Many high-grade and error pennies are snapped up quickly by collectors who know just how valuable these small treasures can be. Could there be millions in circulation? Here's the million-dollar question: could you have a rare and valuable 1973 penny in your pocket right now? It's possible. While most pennies from this era are only worth their face value, there are still high-grade examples and error coins floating around in circulation. If you come across a 1973 penny, take a close look at its condition and any possible errors. Even coins with small imperfections can be worth significantly more to the right collector. Who knows, you might just find a hidden treasure worth far more than a penny. The decline of the penny: why U.S. pennies are disappearing. In recent years, there's been growing debate about the future of the penny in the United States. The cost of producing pennies now exceeds their face value due to rising metal prices, prompting discussions about whether to phase out the penny entirely. While the U.S. Mint continues to produce pennies, there's been a noticeable decline in their use, with many businesses and consumers rounding prices or opting for digital transactions. Still, for collectors, the penny remains a vital part of numismatic history, and rare pennies like the 1973 edition continue to hold significant value. CONCLUSO in the 1973 cent may appear as a small piece of change, but its history, variations, and the stories behind it make it a captivating subject for collectors and historians alike. Whether you find one in your pocket change or seek out rare mint errors, each dime tells a part of America's numismatic journey. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of the 1973 USA 1-cent coin. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with fellow coin enthusiasts, and don't forget to subscribe for more exciting numismatic content. Until next time, happy collecting.